This is the month, March, where we celebrate the Passover. I gave you instructions that the high holy days are to be celebrated from evening to evening. Evening to evening is one day. So we want to go over instructions so you can make sure you celebrate the high holy days the right way. On the Gregorian calendar, um, the Passover is celebrated towards the end of the month, which is start on the 29th. So on the 28th, Friday evening, not dusk, sundown evening, you start the Sabbath day, which goes to the 29th. But here's the twist. At dusk is when you start the Passover. That's when you eat the um, unleavened bread or matzah crackers. You have to take yeast products out of the house for 7 days. The Passover is celebrated for 7 days. So you eat your lamb you eat the unleavened bread at dusk, because the brothers and sisters at that time, they had to leave, and they had to leave in haste. They couldn't wait for the bread to rise, so they didn't use yeast. They had to eat it without yeast. So that's how you celebrate the unleavened bread, no yeast in the house, and you eat matzah crackers or unleavened bread without yeast. And you then, after that, can eat the lamb sundown. Remember, the high holy days are celebrated from evening to evening. That is one day, evening to evening. So 29th sundown to the 30th evening sundown is one day. And then the 31st to the first sundown is another day. Then the second evening to the third, that's sundown. And then the third to the fourth is sundown. So that's when the Passover and unleavened bread ends on the fourth. And then you go right straight into the Sabbath day. And then you celebrate that from evening to evening, which closes out on the 5th. So you want to try and see if you can get some days off from work. If you can't, you just make sure you ask the Most High for forgiveness through his Son, Yahushua, whom they call Jesus. Remember, brothers and sisters, this. You need to remember this. The Most High has different Hebrew names. Hebrew names, not English names, okay? So some people say Yahusha, some people say Yahuwah, Yahushai. I celebrate him by Yahushai, the son's name Yahushai, and the father's name as Yah or Yahweh. That's how I celebrate. Now, I'm not going to get mad with another brother if he celebrates the name of Yahusha and Yahshua. Why? Because he's celebrating in the Hebrew name that he knows. The point is, we're to come together as a nation and celebrate him in his Hebrew names, okay? The twist, the Roman Empire, the Jesuits, they put them English names in there for a reason. So we would get tripped up praying this another deity, okay? So know this, brothers and sisters. Know this, it's important. If your name is Joe and I call you Jim, you're not going to respond. So understand, the Most High knows you calling out his name, but he says, study to show thyself approved. When you study, you're going to realize, wait a minute, the Father has Hebrew names. His Son has Hebrew names. They don't have English names. And don't believe them when they talk about we interpret it into English. They have been tricking us ever since the Roman Empire has conquered us. They've been tricking us. Don't believe the lies of ESAU. Don't believe them. Okay? Because the curtain is going to close on you if you believe in him. The Most High said believe in him and his Son. Okay? And with that being said, the next high holy day after the Passover is the new moon on the 13th. You celebrate that from sundown to the 14th sundown. So that'd be Sunday to Monday. Celebrate it like a Sabbath day. Okay. First day on the 13th, no buying and selling. Excuse me, yeah, no buying and selling. I believe you can, no, actually, no buying and selling on the 14th because you're closing out on it. But you can go ahead. You definitely want to be safe and try to not buy and sell on that new moon if you can. Don't buy and sell on that. You got to treat that day as like a Sabbath day. Treat it as a special. Okay, you can do that on one day. Okay. With that being said, brothers and sisters, stay focused. We live this year is going to be trying. So, brothers and sisters, you need to stay focused. You need to be asking for that protection of hedge for your family and for you. Remember, the Most High said, those who are doing His statute, laws, and commandments, He's going to protect you. 10,000 might die on your right hand side and 1,000 on your left. But as long as you're doing what He asks you to do and you're being obedient. And remember, if you read through all the Bible, it shows you about being obedient to the Most High. He'd rather you be obedient than sin. He'd rather you be obedient. And you can see how He's put some people down for not being obedient. Okay? So let's not make the same mistake. That Bible is our history book. And one more note. You have people who don't understand the Bible. So they think they're entitled to speak on the Bible. They say that's the white man's book. That's JoJo's book. That's the Indian book. No. That book was written for us. And here's how you cross-reference. The Ethiopians have a Bible, and that Bible actually has 88 books, and it has Apocrypha in it. So if you want to cross-reference and know this, the Ethiopians, the missionaries and the Christians try to come to Ethiopia and try to take their Bible and write it and rewrite it and all that. And do you know the Ethiopians said, oh, no, you ain't touching this. You see? So even though King James has 66 books, it still has, and yes, the ESAU has tampered with it, but there's mainly the meat of truth in there. Don't let these individuals say it's the white man book, it's the white man book. Don't believe them, okay? Because they haven't studied. You got these speakers talking about that book is Esau's book. No. Esau, it tells you in that book, the Bible, King James Bible, it tells you how Esau is going to get destroyed. It tells you how the other nations are going to get destroyed. Now, do you think, use your common sense, do you think you're going to let a book tell the nations how they're going to be destroyed? Do you think you're going to allow a book to get around to tell you how your destruction is going to come? You think you're going to let a book go around saying, hey, those who enslaved, that's coming back on your head. You're going to be enslaved. You think someone's going to let you? You wouldn't do that. If you had secrets to yourself and your lineage, you're not going to let some book come out saying, you're going to get destroyed in the end times. You're going to get what you did to these people that are God's people. It's going to come back on your head. You think you're going to let someone, you think you're going to let a book like that survive? That's going to tell you how you're going to die? Of course not. So stop listening to these speakers who are saying, oh, that book was created from the Egyptians. Remember, Joseph was over in Egypt, and that Pharaoh said, yeah, we're going to worship your God. After, remember, they were going to have 7 years of good plenty and then 7 years of drought. And when Joseph was able to decipher that dream and it came true, oh, that Pharaoh at that time and them people at that time were saying, oh, yeah, Joseph, we're going to listen to your God, okay? So don't listen to these people who want a platform to talk dirt on the Bible. Remember, you want to cross-reference it? Buy the Ethiopian Bible, which is related to our Bible, and it tells you and it shows you the truth. And their book has not been tampered with. Hasn't been tampered with, Esau. Okay? So know this, brothers and sisters. You can order that on Amazon if you have to cross-reference. Don't be listening to everybody who wants to be a speaker, because they sound good. But I tell you what, you don't want to find yourself in a bad place just because something sounds good. Trust me. Trust the book that it might have been tampered with a little bit, but the meat is still in there, that God's people are to do things differently, and they're supposed to live by His statute, laws, and commandments. We're not the lawless. The world is lawless. The world don't want to do His statute, laws, and commandments. But we are to come out of the world. He tells you that. Come out of the world. Don't be like these other people running and partying and doing all their little nasty, evil, wicked stuff and think they ain't going to get served up. Listen, brothers and sisters, this is the time we're living in, the end of days. This is time for you to wake up and study and show yourself approved. Okay? And with that note, remember, my brothers and sisters, my beautiful brothers and sisters, I love you. You're wonderful. This is Hebrew Ninja Bro, slicing and dicing up the lies with the promises of the Most High. Blessings to you, my brothers and sisters. Stay safe, stay focused. Most High's promises will uplift you and your family, because He's slicing and dicing up these lies of Esau and these false nations with His promises to keep you alive. Most High Christ bless you. Shalom.